Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2. Last time we finished up World 4, and now we have entered quite possibly the biggest world in Splatoon 2. Welcome to Selfalon HQ. This place is humongous, as you can see. This is definitely where we're going to be spending a lot of our time in this episode. There's just so much for us to do here, so let's go ahead and just start unlocking worlds immediately here. So jumping over on this platform, we're just going to go ahead right over here to the edge. And as you can already see, there's a checkpoint here. This world is so big, they have to start giving us checkpoints. It is going to take us that long to explore things here. So my goal here is to unlock every single level and then just super jump to all of them, because you really just want to go out of your way and unlock every level in this area in particular. It helps in all the other worlds to do that, it just makes things a little more streamlined, but I feel like it's almost a requirement for this world, simply just because of how big it is. And I highly recommend when exploring around here, use your charger weapon, simply just because the long range of this weapon is going to make things a lot easier. Opening up level 27 here, for example, that right there, couldn't really do if I wasn't using a charger. So that just made things a lot easier. Now we can just super jump to this platform, saving ourselves a lot of time. If we jump up to this top platform, we get ourselves a meal ticket. That one in particular is for money, so that gives us an experience boost towards our money count in the game. And that's a helpful one. Out of the two, that's not the one I really use that much. I usually use experience tickets, just because you really find yourself wanting to get experience fast in this game. Money you get very easily, so it's nice to have that, but I'm probably not going to be using that ticket, to be honest. So here I'm just going to be waiting in particular, just waiting for a UFO platform to come my way, and then let's go ahead and jump on it. Now I'm going to fire at random here. It may look like at first there was nothing in this area, but then as you can see, invisible platforms. This is how they're really trying to get you in this section. There are just a lot of invisible platforms in this area. This isn't the only time we're going to be seeing these. So there we go, made my jump. So let me get over to this yellow platform fast. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and actually make my way to every location that these green balloons are going to appear now, simply just because I want that sunken scroll now. I usually wait until I explore everything and then I can super jump around if I miss these targets. But this is one of those cases where I need to get these right away. And as you can see, these balloons don't give you much time because the UFOs aren't that fast, to be honest, so you have to be really paying attention to where those things go and shoot them down immediately. Charger is the best weapon to get these balloons shot down with. You can also probably use some of the other long-range weapons here, like the biggest example I can think of is the Gatling gun weapon in this. So if I swap over to the Hero Splatling, you can see the range is pretty helpful. I think the Charger is just a bit better, but the Splatling can still be helpful in just some circumstances because you just fire at a rapid pace. So it's more of a personal preference. I just like using the Charger here a little bit more. So let me just go ahead and swap back over to it. And the short-range weapons, like say the roller or the dualies, don't bother. Honestly, just don't use them here. It's just too big of a hub in order to use a short-range weapon. But that was our final sunken scroll in the hub, so now we have all 5 stickers. So there you go. That's 100% of the sunken scrolls and hubs. Now we should need to get the rest of them in the levels. So, gotta wait here, unfortunately, for these UFOs to come back. And that's the biggest problem with this hub, which is why I recommend that you just get every single level unlocked right away. There is a lot of waiting around here. And that's why they keep on putting these checkpoints around the area, because of how big it is. If you had to keep on respawning to the very beginning, if you die by accident, that's a lot of time that you're wasting just sitting around waiting for these platforms to reappear in your area and just try again. So I'm very happy that they put checkpoints, but this is the only case where they did something like this. This is definitely the biggest hub in both Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 single player alone. Because Splatoon 1's biggest hub was definitely the final level, but even then, World 5 and Splatoon 1 wasn't even close to this scale. So yeah, they really amped things up for Splatoon 2's final world. Fortunately, I missed my time in there with my shot. You want to use a long-range weapon just to hit this target alone, so I prefer using Charger here, but you can also use the Splatling and it'll still work out. But I need to get moving so I can make this cycle, hit the rail, and grind it. Let me go ahead and throw a bomb here just to make some of my shots a little bit easier. There we go. So now I want to get back down to where my checkpoint is. I'm actually going to wait here for a second. I could take the ink rail all the way over, but I'm just going to jump off a little bit early, because if I rode that rail all the way back to the checkpoint, I would have missed this platform. So yeah, let's not miss this, please. These things don't move the quickest. I don't want to wait too long. Throw a splat bomb down below here, and you'll see not only an invisible platform appear, but inside the boxes is our Sardinium of War 5. So that's all the Sardinium now in the hubs as well. At this point, it's just the levels we need to worry about 100%ing. So I just gotta wait for my orange UFO to come over, and we can continue exploring more of this gigantic hub. So we're actually halfway there in terms of unlocking levels. We got 3 more to unlock. One of them's over in this section that I'm in now, so let's go ahead and make our way through it. We got these little switches that we need to shoot ink on in order to activate moving platforms. So that's an interesting gimmick to see in the hub. And let's just go ahead and climb up here and shoot this. Oh, please don't fall. That was a little too close. You want to be careful in this section in particular to not go in squid form too often, simply because of all the metal grates. But level 26 is kind of hard to unlock by just getting up there, so what I recommend doing is just use your splat bombs. That'll just make things a lot easier. Just throw a splat bomb up above, and then it should hit the target that you're aiming for. So splat bombs are your best friend this section. Oh, I almost missed jumping on this UFO. That would have been bad. The blue UFOs are the final ones we need to take. There's 4 in total. This is the final one we haven't touched yet. And this set of UFOs will take us to our final 2 levels. So right in the blue UFO, we make it to our first stop here over where this checkpoint is. And we have some rolling platforms we need to go ahead and activate. So shoot the first one here, and it's going to roll up. Oh, bad. I didn't ink the wall enough, and I got nudged off. That wasn't fun. Try it again. This time the wall's already inked, so I don't have to worry about dying immediately. Now here, you got to be very quick. Hit all 3 of these rolls immediately and climb right up. Helps us have a long-range weapon for that as well, but this level unlock is actually pretty interesting because it's on a rotating platform. So I gotta wait, and then I can just shoot it. There you go. 23 is definitely one you have to be a little more careful about, but luckily, they did put a platform down below if you fall, so it's not too big of a risk if you miss that platform, but it's kind of annoying to hit, to be honest. You have to wait for that top portion to be facing upwards. So that's level 23, 1 more to go. As you can see in the distance, there's just a checkpoint floating. So you know what that means. Invisible platforms. This section in particular is probably one of the more annoying ones in order to unlock a level, just simply because of all the invisible platforms. So just aim out in the distance. Don't even try to aim, just shoot aimlessly, and then I'll figure out where the platforms are. There's 2 platforms here in particular. Kind of hard for me to find the second one, and in this case, using something like the Splatling is probably better just because of the rapid fire. You don't have to worry about long distance as much in this section. You have to use something that will at least be able to ink up enough platform so you can see where you're going. So let's go ahead and wait here a bit. And that's the only thing we have to do at this point, just wait. That's the thing about these platforms being on a specific cycle. We can't speed things up. But this is going to be our final level unlock, and this is one that definitely make challenging because these platforms just appear out of nowhere, which have sprinklers on them. So that's no fun. So I'm going to shoot the level from a distance, and there's level 22. Instead of platforming around, because there are rotating blocks that can just lead me over to 22, shoot from a distance, and then you can just unlock it. You can go ahead and take this ink rail here, which will lead you back to the beginning of this invisible platform section, but honestly, I did not know you could do that. Okay, news to me. Don't try to super jump off a rail. I just wanted to be cool, but instead of being cool, I was being stupid. But you can take the ink rail back to the invisible platform section if you want, but we can super jump now, so it doesn't matter. Time to go ahead and enter level 22, the Underground Expressway, Octobrush with Danger. As you can tell by the level name alone, this is going to introduce yet another new weapon for us to use, and it's the final new weapon we'll be able to use in our levels too. Jumping right in, we have one more delivery from Sheldon. Meet the Octobrush. If you love getting up close and personal, the Hero Brush is the weapon for you. Hold the ZR button to ink the ground as you run, or spam the button to slash repeatedly. You can close in on enemies really quickly, and then splam the bits like a ninja. So just like Sheldon said, you hold down the button, and then you have a pretty big ink trail following behind you as you just roll around with the brush. The only downside of this, though, on the other hand, is that while you do move pretty quick with the brush, you don't really have that big of an ink trail behind you, so it isn't the best for ink coverage, but that's when spamming the button comes into play. If you just mash the 0 button to shoot, there is a lot of ink that flails out of this Octobrush in particular, and it's a really strong weapon. No matter what mode you're playing online, you usually see someone using the Octobrush because it's just that good of a weapon. This is pretty good for ink coverage, while at the same time, it's definitely one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It's really good for killing. There are 2 different types of brushes in the game, but for single player, we're really just going to be seeing this Octobrush. You can go ahead and use the Octobrush or the ink brush though in multiplayer. The biggest difference between these two though is that the Octobrush is definitely more designed for killing, as I mentioned earlier, as it may be a slower weapon compared to the ink brush, but it definitely does a lot more damage. The ink brush is definitely more designed for turf war because it's a much faster weapon, but it does less damage and has a smaller ink trail to it. This doesn't really matter too much though for turf wars in particular because coverage is the name of that game and the ink brush is really good for coverage really fast. So Octobrushes in particular are very strong, but I do see a mix between the Octo and normal ink brush in the turf war mode in particular. This isn't a weapon I get personal use out of that much, just simply because I'm not a fan of mashing the shoot button for a lot of the weapons in these games. So that's why I don't really use this, the umbrella, or the slosher weapons that much in multiplayer. But I could definitely see their appeal and would like to get better with these weapons in the future. But here in particular, I'm throwing a curling bomb out on one of the invisible pathways and then just trying my best to corner the enemy in front of me using the Octobrush. The AI is a little bit weird there in that section, simply just because you can bait him in a corner using a bomb, and then he'll run the opposite direction of where that bomb's going, which works out in my favor because throwing it on one side of the map will have that enemy just run towards me on the other. So just throwing out a curling bomb there in particular could definitely bait the AI in a positive way. So here I'm going to throw a bomb out, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab myself the curling bomb rush here and just let it go. There's so many Altarians in this section to kill, so just using the curling bomb rush here definitely is a time saver. And looks like I got this enemy stuck, so let me take some advantage of that. Fortunately, he got unstuck real fast because this Altarian here in particular, the big guy, he's definitely the worst in this section. Not only does he have a pretty strong shield in front of him, but he also has jet boosters on him. So this guy just loves to dodge, and I don't like him at all for that reason. He is just annoying to kill. His friends around him aren't that bad, but the dang shield and jet boosters do not help this fight. So if I can corner him on a wall with the auto bomb like that, he will take priority in trying to dodge the auto bomb compared to my Octobrush shots, and that just causes him to get stuck, allowing me to wail him from the back. It's way easier to get that guy stuck somewhere instead of taking down that shield. He just dodges too much, and he's just holding a really strong shield, so it's not worth trying to take it out. It's better just to corner him, just kill him in one shot. Meanwhile, the Gatling gun enemy wasn't really that bad. Just had to go ahead and rush up to him fast, just spam with the brush. Now here I'm going to charge my ankle a little bit. Now I'm going to throw a bomb up above and just attack the Altarian up here so I can get his special, the splashdown. Use the splashdown right here because I can just go ahead and stomp right on an enemy, reveal myself a key. Take the key up above, unlocking this gate, and got ourselves the Sardinium on this level. So we just need one more collectible, and luckily for us, it's right here in the final checkpoint. So breaking open this box on the right is going to reveal our ink storm, so we're going to go ahead and throw it down, and that reveals some invisible pathway. And as you can see, this section's pretty deadly, so you want to use that special here if you can. As you see right here, it's actually revealing a secret platform here on the right side. So right now, I'm just going to try my best to survive because this guy really wants to be dead. Let me throw out one bomb for right now. Wait for the recharge, throw out another one. And there's both Gatling gun guys dead. Take those guys out as soon as you can. It's definitely going to make a life a lot easier. Those guys can really screw you up when trying to platform around here, trying to get the sunken scroll. I really don't like this section, to be honest. It's just kind of a mess in general. Between the Gatling guns trying to ink around you, well, killing you in general with those shots, and then the giant squeegees just being a pain to work with in general, this section, definitely not the most fun. As you can see, I'm nowhere near the giant squeegee I need to actually get to the end. So right now I need to get closer to him, just so I can get on top and get to the ending. But just trying to get this guy to really cooperate is just torture, in all honesty. These guys really don't like to cooperate. The best way to get them to cooperate is to throw a bomb, but even then, they just take the long way to get to him. So I just have to hope I'm throwing the bomb in the right location, and then one squeegee just gets stuck on another one. Yeah, right here, I just threw a bomb in front of me, and the squeegee just went the opposite direction. It's the worst. I don't like this section because of the squeegee AI. Any section that has squeegee AI in general you have to work with, definitely one of my least favorite parts of a level. They just don't want to cooperate. But there, we got the level done. We got ourselves the 2 collectibles and our Zapfish. So, this is really our only use of the Octobrush, to be honest, in the single player. We can take this brush into some of the other levels, but this is pretty much the only time we're going to be seeing it here, just simply because we don't ever need to actually replay any of the levels at this point. So, unfortunately, that was the only use of the brush, and to be honest, that's fine with me, because I'm not the biggest fan of brushes. I'm just not really that good for them, if you want to be honest. Hey, Squid Kids! It's me, Callie. It's been a long time since I've written a proper blog post. Being on my own like this, I got time to think. But sometimes I think too much. But I'm really psyched for filming today. Stay fresh. That's a nice blog post until you see she took a picture of her feet. Not the best picture, Callie. I do have to say, I'm going to give that one a thumbs down. But let me just go ahead, open my menu, and super jump to level 23. Luckily, super jumping in this level in particular, it puts in the right location for you to jump in. So now let's go ahead and make our way into the Octo Galaxy, one with the cosmos. Later. The level just pretty much says, nah. Luckily, super jumping will reset it, so now let's jump in. Don't spend too long just sitting on that. Unfortunately for me, trying to read the level name alone kind of pushed out the timer a little bit too long, and the level just decided, I don't feel like having you inside today. Just shove you off the gate. So here we're going to be using ourselves the dualies in particular, and this is a very fun level with the dualies. I'm going to be doing a lot of dashing around with these weapons just because of just how fast they move in general. In terms of speedrunning strategies, this is actually what they do in a speedrun. The dualies' extra little dash move is a really fast maneuver in general, but the downside to it is that on ground, it does definitely have some pausing to it. So when you're hitting ground, you have this little animation where you're just constantly shooting, but you won't be able to move for about a second or so. On the rails, on the other hand, that animation just doesn't play out, meaning that you keep your momentum. So anytime I'm near one of these ink rails, I'm just going to do a dash with the dualies right into the railing. So right here, for example, next to the checkpoint, I'll just dash right into the rail, and we keep our momentum going. And this makes this level very fast-paced. Get into this candy here, fire out some shots so we can go ahead and activate these balloons. And now these platforms here are all inked up, allowing us to swim around in our squid form. And this section is just so fast. You just hit a couple boosters and you just go, go, go. This section in particular kind of reminds me of some more modern Sonic levels. In particular, it kind of reminds me of some of the levels you can get like maybe like Sonic Generations or Sonic Adventure 2 with all the grinding. It's just very fast paced, and there's a lot of moments where they just definitely want to keep the momentum going. It's a really fun level, to be honest. You can play this level with other weapons once you beat it, but I just prefer playing this level with the dualies. It's just definitely built for this weapon in mind, and it's so fast-paced because of it. This is definitely one of my favorite levels in the Splatoon 2 single player, and it's just because of how fast-paced it is. It's very fun, and it looks really, really smooth, too, when you get everything down right. So here in particular, dropping this auto bomb to distract the Altarian. I can just shoot him up a bit. Kind of missed my last couple shots, which doesn't help. I guess I'm going to just break the shield now. Now, I don't have my armor to protect me, which means I move slower, but with the dashing with the dualies, doesn't really matter all too much, to be honest, because I keep my speed no matter if I have armor or not with the dualies, just as long as I'm doing the little dash maneuver. Can I hit that balloon? Yeah, I did it. I can't believe I actually got that before we moved on. This section's just so much fun. Like, just look at how fast I'm going. It's so good. Right here in particular, go into your squid form and then jump through the gate. If you don't do that, you're just going to hit your head on it and die. So, squid jump. Just don't do anything but a squid jump. So we're in our final section of rails here, and as you can see, this is the most deadly. Between the platforms here trying to kill you, and then the two snipers up above just trying to snipe you while just moving around. Yeah, this section, definitely deadly. But here, I might get hit at the end, but I blow up the shield with the Zapfish using the balloons around me, also killing the enemies. And we got ourselves a Zapfish. So there you go. That's that. Also forgot this whole time to mention I swap out to the Inkling Girl design. This is basically the design we started with too, the short hair and everything. I like changing it up with each world, but kind of slipped my mind this time around. Do you ever think, man, this place is ugly. My evil layer could use some pizzazz. Well, just whip out some sparkly fabric and tape. and get your decorator on. It looks great, feels great, and it's fun. Give it a try, and stay fresh. That stay fresh at the end is awfully suspicious. I wonder who the decorator is. But now with that question in our minds, let's go ahead and make our way to the next level and actually end the episode on that note. So with that said, next time on Let's Play Splatoon 2, we'll be jumping into our next level here, the Transfer Junction. I'll see you guys next time.